You won't believe what just happened with the 49ers. The trade deadline came and went, and San Francisco did nothing. No new players, no bold moves. Nothing to boost the team's biggest weakness right now, pass rush. And that's left fans asking one question: what now? Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into what options the 49ers still have after staying quiet at the trade deadline. Can they fix their pass rushing problem from within, or do they have to look somewhere else entirely? But before listening to the latest news, subscribe to the channel, like it, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Let's move on to the new news. Now, let's talk facts. The 49ers didn't bring in any new defensive help, but they still have some names worth watching. There's Nkemdish Williams, Sam Aquinu, Bryce Huff, who's just getting back from that hamstring injury, plus Keion White, the recent pickup from the Patriots. Add in Robert Beal, Clelin Ferrell, and William Bradley King from the practice squad, and that's your current edge rush depth. But here's the truth. Finding a real game-changing edge rusher this late in the season is extremely tough. Most available players are sitting on other teams' practice squads or waiting for a chance. The question is, can the 49ers discover a hidden gem before it's too late? Stay with me because things might be about to get interesting. Now here's where things start to get interesting. When you look across practice squads around the league, there are actually a few names that could quietly make a big impact, if the 49ers are willing to take a chance. Let's talk about some of those players. Boogie Basham, KJ Henry, Julian Okwara. Familiar names who've shown flashes of real talent. But one player stands out a little more than the rest: Isaiah Foskey. He's a De La Salle kid who went on to play at Notre Dame, and he's bulked up quite a bit since college, jumping from around 265 pounds to nearly 280. That added strength could make him a serious edge threat if given the right opportunity. But let's not stop there. I've got 5 practice squad guys who really caught my eye, players with potential, hunger, and something to prove. And the first one is Ethan Downs, currently on Kansas City's practice squad. This kid played his heart out at Oklahoma. He's not the tallest or longest defensive end, but his motor is unbelievable. He never stops chasing the football. Every snap he's moving, relentless, aggressive, and determined. You can tell he loves the game just by the way he plays. If a team wants him, they'd have to pull him off Kansas City's practice squad and add him directly to the active roster. But honestly, he might be worth that gamble. He's not perfect, but he's pure energy, and sometimes that's exactly what a defense needs. And there's another name that deserves attention: Antoine Powell-Ryland. A player with real upside, raw power, and that same spark you can't teach. Stay with me because the next few names might surprise you even more. Now let's talk about another name that deserves more attention: Antoine Powell-Ryland. He's currently with the Philadelphia Eagles, but this guy made his mark long before that. Coming out of Virginia Tech, he was one of the most productive edge rushers in his class. In fact, during the 2025 preseason, he ranked among the top defensive ends in overall pass rush grades. That tells you something. He knows how to create pressure. Powell-Ryland isn't the tallest guy on the field, standing around 6'1", but he plays with incredible leverage and speed. He's got that burst off the edge that makes tackles panic. You can see it in his college tape: quick hands, sharp instincts, and a non-stop drive to reach the quarterback. He's the kind of player who doesn't take a play off, and that's exactly what the 49ers defense needs right now: hunger and hustle. So that's 2 promising names so far: Ethan Downs, the high-motor pass rusher from Kansas City squad, and Antoine Powell-Ryland, the productive edge from Philly. But there's another player who could be a real sleeper: Kaimon Rucker out of North Carolina. This guy brings a mix of speed and raw power that's hard to ignore. He can line up outside or even slide inside, and no matter where he's placed, he finds a way to win. His handwork is sharp, quick cross chops, violent first moves, and once he gets inside, the quarterback better move fast. Rucker's got that every snap counts attitude. He doesn't wait for things to happen. He makes them happen. And that's the kind of mindset the 49ers could use to shake up their defensive front. Stay with me, because there are still a few more hidden gems that could completely change this picture. Now let's take a closer look at Kaimon Rucker, because this guy deserves real attention. He's a bit undersized for a typical edge rusher, but you'd never know it from the way he plays. At North Carolina, Rucker lined up outside, exploded off the edge, and consistently found ways to make life miserable for quarterbacks. He's got quick feet, great hands, and that fiery motor that never cools off. Right now, he's on Baltimore's practice squad, and that alone tells you something. Teams like the Ravens don't keep just anyone. They know talent when they see it. And Rucker? He's got 22 career sacks in 5 college seasons. That's consistency, that's production, that's effort. If you look across these practice squads, the pattern becomes clear. The top teams in the league seem to be hiding serious defensive gems. Antwaun Powell-Ryland had 30 sacks at Virginia Tech. Ethan Downs put up over 12 at Oklahoma. And then there's Braden Swinson, the LSU pass rusher who landed with New England. At 6'4" and around 260 pounds, Swinson's got the size, the athleticism, and the skill to develop into something special. He notched 13.5 career sacks and moves like a guy lighter than he is. Quick off the ball, great balance, and a smooth pass rush rhythm. So think about it. Kansas City's got Downs, Baltimore's got Rucker, Philadelphia's got Powell-Ryland, and New England's got Swinson. Every top-tier team has a hidden weapon waiting on their practice squad. And there are even more names worth keeping an eye on. Elijah Chapman from the Giants is one of them. Not really a pure edge rusher, more of a versatile defensive lineman. He's 280 pounds of raw energy and power, capable of moving inside or outside depending on the matchup. But the one name that really jumps off the page? Mo Kamara, former Colorado State standout, now sitting quietly on Tampa Bay's practice squad, and this guy is a beast. Kamara racked up 30.5 career sacks and 45 tackles for loss in college. He dominated at the Shrine Bowl, then went to the Combine and turned heads, running a blazing 4.57 40-yard dash at nearly 260 pounds. At a 34.5-inch vertical, over 100 inches on the broad jump, and 23 reps on the bench press. That's elite athleticism. If you're looking for a player who combines power, speed, and relentless energy, Mo Kamara is the one to go get. Stay with me, because what comes next might just reveal why the 49ers' next move could make or break their season. When you look at Mo Kamara, there's no denying the talent. This guy is built like a storm, compact, powerful, and relentless. He might not have the ideal height, but every inch of him plays with purpose. At Colorado State, Kamara was an absolute force, 30.5 career sacks, 45 tackles for loss, and a reputation for wrecking offensive game plans. He's explosive off the line, clocking a 4.57 40-yard dash, with the strength and burst that make blockers nervous before the snap. And when you watch him play, you feel that energy, constant, fearless, and impossible to ignore. He reminds me of those old-school rushers who made up for size with sheer willpower. So when people ask, what can the 49ers even do now that the trade deadline's over? The answer is simple. Look smart, not desperate. There are still names out there, buried in practice squads, waiting for a shot. Here are the 5 best options right now. Antwaun Powell-Ryland, Philadelphia's hidden gem, 30 career sacks at Virginia Tech. Ethan Downs, Kansas City's relentless motor from Oklahoma, 12.5 sacks. Kaimon Rucker, Baltimore's undersized but fierce edge threat, 22 college sacks.